Now, we at Loose Women are very proud to be one of the first shows in Britain to talk openly and honestly about the menopause. But what do you wish you'd known about it? Now, for me, when it kicked in and I really didn't know it was my menopause, I did at points think I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
I felt I wouldn't like to say depression, but I felt very, very dark. And I was just questioning everything about my life. And from what I've read and I've seen in interviews, you had similar feelings to that.
I had worse, probably.
Did you?
And I'm pretty cocky, madam, really, all my life. Confident, I should say. Pretty confident and very, very positive. You know, glass is not just half full, it's like brimming over constantly. And every challenge is an opportunity, all of those different things.
Yeah.
And I found... So I was... how old was I then? 54? That I went through the year, so 2015, and I started feeling really low. And then there were times, like in the graph, I'd be like low all the time, and then I'd be like extra low.
Yeah, yeah.
And as that went on month, I found that it became so low, it was like almost like a physical pain, and it was genuine depression. And I got to the point after many months where I thought I could only think about how I could stop that feeling.
Yeah.
And so...
And did you know it was the menopause?
I didn't, no. I thought it was depression. And I think this is... Because I spoke about this on Lorraine about 18 months ago. Had a massive response. And GPs would say, oh, here's an antidepressant.
Yeah.
And so I kind of thought, I didn't want to go to the GP. I don't know, I've got to go...
Did you take the antidepressants or not?
No, I didn't. And it was almost suicidal thoughts, if you like, but I would never have done it because I've got kids and, you know, and all of that. But I've never felt like that in my life. And I've been through divorces and I've been through, you know, a lot of upset over my life. Didn't meet my father till I was 42. You know, all of those different things. Nothing was like that. So at the Christmas time, 2015, 3 years ago, I thought, right, I've got this little book about depression. I did the thing, and I thought, right, I'll go on holiday and run away, and no, I won't. I'll sit and I'll analyse it. And I always kept, like, a calendar of when my period was. And so I checked that, and that was when I was really at the lowest. I thought, this is linked to hormones. I went to a professor in London, and he said, yeah, I treat hormonal depression. He said it's the same as postnatal, it's the same as, you know, whatever it is. He gave me, in the January, some gels, bioidentical hormone gels, and I just rubbed those on my leg every morning. Within 48 hours, it had all gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Within 48 hours. And he takes a lot of women who are on antidepressants, who've been put on antidepressants for 10 years or more, and he gets them off within months.
So, Carol, I know that you are quite anti us talking too much about it, but when you hear that, does that change your mind? Because I think...
No, it's a personal thing.
Have you been through the menopause?
None of your business. I'm 58, of course I have, yes. But I don't really... I just think if you talk about it too much, it becomes a much bigger thing
helps other
than it
women
actually is. Well, not always. I mean... I understand what you're saying. I didn't have a bad one. It was quite easy, actually. I just thought I was ill. I kept going to the doctors and going, oh, I'm just so tired. You know, I just feel ill. And I wasn't ill. And when they actually said to me, it's the menopause, I almost cried because I thought, I don't want that. I don't want it.
What was the feeling?
Because it's the cruelest thing. Mother Nature is not a woman if she does that to women.
But you've never wanted to have kids, have you?
No, I didn't, but I didn't like being told that I didn't have that choice anymore.
Yeah.
It was almost like someone pointing at you and going, right, that's it, you're over. And it's like it is actually a drying out process. Your hair dries up, your nails dry up, other things dry up. Everything dries up. It's just not a nice thing. It's like being an old plum in the fruit bowl.
But you say
that's right. I felt withered on the vine.
But you saying this now, and you saying what you're saying, there'll be somebody at home watching this who will go, I'm not depressed. I'm having the menopause. Surely that is why we should be talking.
And part of the things in your 50s is you naturally go through what people call, I hate all the negative words, but emptiness syndrome. I call it freedom, but emptiness syndrome. And there are other things that may happen that then they sort of lump it all together. And I read... So when I talked about it for the first time a couple of years ago, that the response was astronomical. And a lot of people I knew, like professional guys, you know, whether they were accountants or that I'd kind of worked with over the years, they wrote in, their husbands, they're saying, you know, my wife said she read this thing and I love my wife so much, or I love my mum so much. What can we do to help her?
Yeah.
And now you've given us a glimmer of choice. So I've chosen, you know,
I'm not saying you shouldn't talk about it. I do think talking about it too much isn't a particularly good thing. But I also, the thing that gets me as well is doctors are usually quite reluctant to prescribe HRT because they still link it
well,
to...
I mean, a friend of mine, she went into the doctor and saying that her libido had just gone out the window.
Yeah.
And the doctor wanted to give her antidepressants.
Yes,
and she
exactly.
said, she kept saying, I'm not depressed.
But part of this is they've got a 5-minute appointment.
Yeah.
So they just go, oh, take these.
Yeah.
They
But
don't
the
look
stuff
at the
I'm on,
underlying
which is this
issues.
bioidentical, is available on the NHS.
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of GPs aren't aware that it's available.
And there's so much, we've had
We've
many
got some nice
comments on this. I mean, Julie said she wishes somebody'd warned her that it completely robs you of your identity at times.
Yeah.
Lolly, as you're talking about menopause, please talk me through it. I'm only 39 and I'm really struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 45, but 39 is he? No one warned me about the anxiety.
Yeah.
I've always been confident, but
I
it
never
completely
have.
came out of left field. Teresa, the mental health issues, definitely. I've never suffered before, but the last 4 years have not been great. Sorry for moaning, but it needs talking about.
You know, it's not moaning, it's sharing. That's the thing. And, you know, it's that old saying, isn't it? Problem shared is a problem halved.
Yeah.
And when you are in that lonely place where you're thinking you've lost your mind, you're withered on the vine, all this thing, by talking to other women, you actually can feel stronger. And a different way to think of it is that this is becoming our time now. You know, this is the time where maybe, you know, like you said, you're actually enjoying the emptiness.
I love it.
Yeah, and there's so
Maybe
much.
too much.
Yeah.
What's that gel called?
What?
I want some of it.
You want?
I want some as well.
So you...
I bet you anything if I went to my doctor, they wouldn't give it to me.
Some of it's testosterone. You definitely don't need that.
Why? doesn't that make you want to have rumpy pumpy all the time?
I don't know. Does it?
It does. Does it? Does it?
Yeah. See?
Does it? Does it?
I swear by it.
Right, I'm going to leave it on Rumpy Pumpy.